In the dynamic and often unpredictable landscape of Philippine politics, few names have resonated as powerfully in recent years as Sara Duterte. As the daughter of former President Rodrigo Duterte and the current Vice President, Sara Duterte has forged her own path, one marked by both controversy and resilience. The question now gripping the nation is whether she could be the Philippines' next president, a prospect that stirs both fervent support and heated debate across the archipelago. Born on May 31, 1978, Sara Duterte grew up in the political crucible of Davao City, where her father served as mayor for decades, establishing a powerful Duterte political dynasty in Mindanao. Sara herself first entered the political arena as vice mayor of Davao City, working alongside her father, and later assumed the city's top post. Her reputation was built on a blend of tough governance and pragmatic compromise, earning her both admirers and critics in equal measure. Her ascent to the national stage was anything but accidental. In the run-up to the 2022 elections, Sara Duterte was widely expected to run for the presidency herself, buoyed by her family's enduring popularity and the formidable machinery of their political base. Instead, she surprised many by running for vice president, forging a strategic alliance with Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., the scion of another powerful political clan. Their victory was seen as a consolidation of two of the country's most influential families, ushering in an era of dynastic politics that promised both stability and contention. The Duterte-Marcos alliance, however, was not destined to remain harmonious. As vice president, Sara Duterte was assigned a prominent cabinet post as Secretary of Education, a position that allowed her to shape key policies affecting millions of Filipino students. Despite this, tension simmered beneath the surface as differences in priorities and political ambitions became increasingly apparent. The alliance that once seemed unbreakable began to fracture, culminating in a dramatic and unprecedented confrontation. In February 2025, the nation was rocked by the announcement that the House of Representatives had moved to impeach Sara Duterte. The charges leveled against her were grave: accusations of plotting to assassinate President Marcos, allegations of large-scale corruption, and criticism for failing to denounce China's aggressive actions in the South China Sea. The impeachment proceedings laid bare the deepening rift between the Duterte and Marcos camps, turning allies into adversaries and transforming the political landscape overnight. Sara Duterte's response to the impeachment was characteristically defiant. She dismissed the charges as politically motivated, calling the process an act of persecution orchestrated by her rivals. Her brother, Representative Paulo Duterte, echoed these sentiments, framing the impeachment as a vendetta against the Duterte family's enduring influence. The spectacle of the impeachment trial gripped the nation, with supporters rallying behind Sara and opponents urging the Senate to uphold the charges. As the trial unfolded, the stakes could not have been higher. If convicted, Sara Duterte would be barred from holding public office for life, effectively ending her political career. Yet, even in the face of these daunting odds, she made it clear that her ambitions remained undiminished. In public statements, she declared her intention to run for the presidency in 2028, arguing that the country needed strong and decisive leadership to address its mounting challenges. "We see the country continuously backsliding," she said. I really believe our country can be great. Sara Duterte's path to the presidency is now fraught with uncertainty. On the one hand, her name recognition and political machinery are unparalleled. She commands a loyal following in Mindanao and among many Filipinos who credit her father's administration with restoring order and cracking down on crime. Her tenure as mayor of Davao City is cited by supporters as evidence of her ability to govern effectively, while her outspokenness and willingness to challenge the status quo resonate with voters disillusioned by traditional politics. On the other hand, the impeachment proceedings have cast a long shadow over her political future. The charges, though contested, have raised questions about her judgment and integrity. Her critics argue that her brand of leadership is too closely associated with authoritarianism and that her reluctance to confront China's actions in the South China Sea signals a dangerous ambivalence on matters of national sovereignty. The specter of disqualification from public office looms large, threatening to derail her presidential ambitions before they can fully take shape. Beyond the legal and political hurdles, the broader context of Philippine politics adds another layer of complexity. The nation's political system has long been dominated by powerful families, and the emergence of the Duterte-Marcos alliance was seen by many as an expression of this dynastic tradition. Yet, as alliances shift and new coalitions form, the electorate's appetite for change remains undiminished. Many Filipinos are yearning for leaders who can bridge the divides of the past, confront corruption, and steer the country toward a more prosperous and equitable future. Sara Duterte's potential bid for the presidency will inevitably be shaped by these competing forces. If she overcomes the legal challenges and secures her place on the ballot, she will enter the race as a formidable contender. Her campaign would likely emphasize her record of service, her vision for national renewal, and her resilience in the face of adversity. At the same time, she will need to address the concerns raised by her detractors, articulating a clear and compelling case for why she is the right leader for a nation at a crossroads. The road ahead is uncertain, and the outcome of her Senate trial will be decisive. Should she be acquitted, Sara Duterte will have the opportunity to mount a comeback, positioning herself as a survivor of political persecution and a champion of the people. If convicted, the Duterte era in Philippine politics may come to an abrupt and dramatic end. As the Philippines looks toward the 2028 elections, the question of who will lead the nation takes on renewed urgency. In Sara Duterte, the country sees a figure who embodies both the promise and peril of its contemporary politics. A leader shaped by legacy, driven by ambition, and unafraid to challenge the established order. Whether she will ultimately become the Philippines' next president remains to be seen. But her journey has already left an indelible mark on the nation's history, reminding all Filipinos that in politics as in life, the only certainty is change.